And we have new video tonight from an Eyewitness News viewer showing dozens of off-road vehicles on the streets of New Bedford late yesterday.
9 riders faced the judge today for the planned ride that police called a menace and led to one officer getting hurt. Eyewitness News reporter Steph Machado spoke to police and the mayor today. She joins us now live from New Bedford with the Southeastern Massachusetts Mobile Newsroom.
Police say this ride was organized in advance. They were prepared with a helicopter and other state and federal resources to follow these dozens of off-road vehicles who were riding on the city streets on Halloween night. It was when police tried to stop them that a sergeant was run over with a dirt bike. Carlos Gonzalez is accused of running over Sergeant Candido Trinidad with a dirt bike Monday night.
They ended up sending Sergeant Trinidad into the air, knocking him unconscious.
Gonzalez faces 9 charges, including assault with a deadly weapon. He was one of 11 people charged in what police called an organized illegal ride on Halloween night. Police were prepared.
We knew we were going to have a lot of kids out there, a lot of families trick-or-treating.
Lieutenant Amos Mello confirms these riders captured by an Eyewitness News viewer were part of the group of 30 to 40 who turned out for the ride. You can see some of them running a stop sign and riding on the wrong side of the road.
They started to climb up onto sidewalks, weave in and out of traffic, slow traffic down, just being a menace.
It was in this parking lot behind the old Flagship Cinemas that police cornered a group on ATVs, dirt bikes, and scooters that tried to flee. Police say Gonzalez mowed down Sergeant Trinidad, then was taken down by other officers. This man, Lemuel Robles Maldonado, is accused of speeding towards a gang unit officer on his scooter. The officer threw a flashlight at him to stop him.
I was pretty disgusted.
Mayor John Mitchell said what happened was unacceptable, and he's planning to crack down on illegal riders. Sergeant Trinidad has been released from the hospital, fortunately with no broken bones, and is expected to be okay. Again, 11 people in total were charged. 9 were in court today. You can see all their names and charges on WPRI.com, and police say more arrests are likely. Coming up new at 6, the mayor talks about an ordinance he is drafting to crack down on illegal off-roaders riding on city streets. Reporting live in New Bedford with the Mobile Newsroom, I'm Steph Machado, Eyewitness News.
New at 6, New Bedford's mayor tells us about a new ordinance he's drafting that would help protect people. It comes after a police sergeant was hurt when he was run down by a dirt bike in a parking lot last night. Eyewitness News reporter Steph Machado is live in New Bedford with more details for us.
Well, that officer is recovering tonight, but police say this isn't the first time an organized group of riders have taken to the streets in off-road vehicles, and the city wants to crack down. These are some of the riders on dirt bikes, ATVs, and other off-road vehicles that police say organized a Halloween ride on city streets, seen here running stop signs and even some on the wrong side of the road.
They started to climb up onto sidewalks, weave in and out of traffic.
New Bedford police knew about the planned ride and were prepared. As police tried to stop and arrest a group behind the old Flagship Cinemas last night, they say this man, Carlos Gonzalez, mowed down Sergeant Candido Trinidad. Gonzalez faces 9 charges, including assault with a deadly weapon, and is one of 11 people charged. 9 faced a judge today.
I was pretty disgusted.
Mayor John Mitchell says this is an ongoing problem, and he plans to crack down.
If you're a parent and if you're walking around with your young children, the last thing you want to see is some 25-year-old tearing around through crowds in an ATV.
He's drafting an ordinance to prohibit reckless use of off-road vehicles.
That raises penalties and enables the city to confiscate vehicles like this more readily.
Police say Sergeant Trinidad fortunately didn't break any bones, and he is out of the hospital recovering. And you can read the names and charges of those 11 suspects right now on WPRI.com, and police say more arrests are likely. Mayor Mitchell plans to submit his ordinance in the next few weeks. Reporting live in New Bedford with the Mobile Newsroom, Steph Machado, Eyewitness News.